Could you speak to us a bit more about energy blockers? Because I think this phenomenon of running the rat race, and especially as working professionals in very highly consuming jobs, there is this phenomenon that we observe among our peers in our former workplaces where people are just exhausted, making poor decisions, and they get frustrated over the smallest things, essentially operating below their potential. So how can people identify what is blocking their energy and get around to turning that situation all around?
So I think there's three things that come to mind. The first thing we've already touched on, which is your lifestyle. If your lifestyle is not in a good place, guess what? That is going to compound, and that is going to affect the quality of your decisions. That is going to affect your interactions with other people. You will be more emotionally reactive when you don't have enough sleep, when you're not feeling in good shape. That is going to affect the way that you communicate to others. So that's the first thing to focus on. Second is focusing on putting down on paper two lists. On one side, you write down everything that is draining you. So that could be people, things, activities, experiences, all the things that drain you right now. And then on the other side, you put down all the things that energize you. And again, the same thing, people, places, things, experiences. And the first step in this is once you've got all of that down on paper, you then ask yourself, where am I spending most of my time focusing my energy on? And now chances are, if you're not feeling particularly energized, it's probably on the list that is draining you. And so what you then want to do is think about, well, how can I do less of the things that are draining me and do more of the things that are energizing me? And what are some of the steps that you can now take to make that happen? So that's the second thing that comes to mind. Third is the reason a lot of us can feel mentally drained, so now I'm talking about mental energy, is because we are focusing too much on the things that we cannot control. And that can drain our energy, because when you focus on the things that you cannot control, it is very unproductive. You cannot make progress on something that is out of your control. And so when we go through that experience of focusing on the things we can't control, we get paralyzed by overthinking. We think about our thinking, and just nothing happens. And it's a waste of time. So knowing and being aware of that means that we can then shift our attention to focusing on what we can control. And when we focus on what we can control, however small, we actually get empowered and energized to take action. So if you're going through a difficult time, or you don't think you're showing up as your best self at work, this could be a very good exercise to do. You ask yourself, well, what is on my mind right now that is out of my control, and what is in my control, and what within my control can I focus on? Because as you focus on the things that are in your control, guess what? More things become in your control, but you have to take that first step.